Good afternoon. Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Well, here we are on a it's a Saturday afternoon. Quite dull gray out, but bright. Thought I'd go with the full window display, see how that works out. Anyways, we're here to do the episode that we do every month, once a month, usually mid-month. Try to get it in the mid-Saturday of the month, in which we do an episode called Playlist. Now, playlist is, I have a playlist. I play 20 albums. I rotate them. I go through them all every week. I have a waiting list in which I have albums that are waiting to go on the playlist. And so what I normally do is, this is how I listen to my music. I usually do, I'll have 3 playlist albums in a row that I'm listening to, and then I throw an album either that's waiting its turn, or an older album that I haven't listened to for a while, or something brand new that I haven't listened to at all. That's generally how I work it. Lately, I've been doing a little bit more of the new albums I haven't listened to, because I've got a lot of them. However, that's normally what I do. And then also we like to talk a little bit about what's come out of my playlist and what's currently new in my playlist. And then at the end, I always give a top 5 albums for this month's picks. And in this case, I'll be talking a little bit about some of the listening stuff I've been listening to. I'm just going to grab my book. It's a little further away than I thought it was. So we'll be talking about some of the stuff I've been listening to that have been recommended by, I have 3 or 4 sources. CD Cave, he usually does at least 1 episode a week of new stuff he's bought, and I take some of my sources from that. I take some from Brendan Snyder as well. He does a monthly review of what's new, very detailed review. It's really quite good. It helps a lot. It breaks down what I should be listening to first, and maybe what might wait a little bit. And then the professor's picks over on Sea of Tranquility. He always has whatever is new coming out for him, like for what he's bought that's purchased that you can buy. And then sometimes they do talk about new stuff that's coming out as well. So those are my main sources. Sometimes I go to Bandcamp, look through there. On occasion, I may go to Wikipedia. I used to do that a lot more. I don't do it nearly as much now. They don't generally have as much for me as I would like. So we'll start with talking about that first. So what I've been listening to quite a bit of new stuff. Usually Saturday is my day when I go through the stuff that I've marked down that I want to listen to. Usually I get them off of the channels I just told you, stuff that I've been following, or new stuff that I wanted to get to listen to possibly for what's new. Last week I listened to a few bands, Edge of Forever. I didn't mind this. This was okay, but it's a little bit too kind of fusion-y for me. I'm not a huge fusion fan. I don't dislike fusion, but it's just not something I get into that much. That might change over time, though, as I'm being more and more exposed to it. The other album that really the new album I was listening to is Vapors, of course, because we'll be doing a video on that later today. The Wasp in the Jar. Surprising how not totally, very similar to what they did back in the time of Nuclear Days, right? So we'll be doing that for tonight. Also, I listened to the Zon album, Astral Projector. This is a Canadian prog band. Very Styx-like. A lot of Styx sounds here to me. I was really quite like this, and I'll be listening to more of that today as well. Also coming up, I listened to some White Willow over the course of the week as well. The album that was recommended, Storm Season. It's an older remade album, which I thought was quite good. It surprised me. Another one that I had listened to that I also found that I liked more than I thought I was going to like was the Wizards Elements album. So yeah, all those albums I did listen to throughout the week. And most of them I did last Saturday, but some of them I did throughout the week. So that's what I've been kind of listening to. That's a little bit I guess for me, it's a little on the new side. Maybe for most of you, you've been listening to it a lot. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what's come out of my playlist and what's replaced it in the playlist. So the 4 albums that have come out of my playlist: the Beatles' Hard Day's Night, it was in there about 5 months, pretty good, pretty solid. Atomic Rooster, Sleeping. This is the whole box set. This is actually their debut album, just simply called Atomic Rooster. I liked it, but it didn't really. I liked it initially, but it didn't really grow. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like it any more after the first week than I did after the 10th week. It just never really made any more headway for me, which is unfortunate. I thought it would be much better, but didn't do as well as I anticipated it doing. Next album that came out was Dwellers of the Deep, on there for almost 10 months, I believe. Pretty close to 10 months in my playlist. This is an excellent album, probably my favorite album by them. I just didn't want it to burn out. I could have probably left it in for a while longer, but I had some new stuff I wanted to put in, and I didn't want to burn the album out. The same kind of goes for this album, Caravans in the Land of Grey and Pink. Love this album. I think this is destined to be a masterpiece album for me eventually when its period of time is up. Just really strong. I love the bonus stuff as well on this album quite a bit. All the songs on here are strong. Started out with me just liking Golf Girl, but it quickly grew to the rest of the album. And I basically took it out for the same reason. I didn't want to burn it out, and I had to put some new stuff in. And it was fading a bit too, so I pulled it out. So the replacement albums for that, of course, the third album for Atomic Rooster, or the second album for Atomic Rooster, the third album I've owned for quite some time. This album was Death Walks Behind You. This is new to my playlist. I do like the art on this quite a bit. I like art on all of them. This one I'm hoping isn't as bluesy, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more bluesy of an album than the other two, and maybe it won't do as well. It's hard to say. We won't know until I've listened to it once, but I haven't really gotten into it severely. This one surprised me, Marillion's Fugazi. I listened to it, the first time I listened to it was months ago. Didn't do nothing. I wasn't triggered by anything. But when I put it on the first time it was in the playlist, I thought, wow, this is much better than I had originally. It's a little bit heavier too. Kind of more reminiscent of Clutches with Straws. So I'm looking forward to this one through being on my playlist for a while. Next one's an album I owned a long time ago when it was in vinyl. I had it in vinyl, played it all the time. Then I never got it in CD till the last year or so. And Let There Be Rock by AC/DC. Possibly this could be my favorite AC/DC album now. It's really come up for a long period of time waiting its turn, but it's in there now. And of course, the first of the 2 Keys to Ascension album by Yes. I did like this one quite a bit. Yes, it has a lot of... sorry, I have a pop-up here that's getting in my way. This was recorded live in 1996. Most of the stuff on here is recorded stuff, but you do have a couple of studio tracks on this particular one, Be the One, that is. So about 20 minutes worth of studio stuff, only 2 tracks though. And of course, this album features John Anderson, Steve Howe, Chris Squire, Rick Wakeman, and Alan White. So pretty much their classic lineup. I do like the album and the other one too, but this one it's getting its chance first. This one, of course, like I said, has like 6 on one disc and then 2 on the second disc of just recorded live stuff from most of their discography, bits and pieces of discography. So curious to see how well it does for me. I am a Yes fan. They haven't done as well for me in recent years. I haven't enjoyed as much as I thought I would their most recent 2 releases, although last one was pretty good. The one before had 1 song that I thought was really good and the rest were kind of mediocre. So that's what's new on my playlist, and that's what come out of my playlist. So now we are going to give you my top 5 albums for the week, or for the month, I guess it would be. Coming in at number 1 is actually, we'll do it the opposite way. So number 5 is the Greenslade album, their debut album, doing very well. Eventually, when it's done, it'll be replaced by their second album, which is Bedside Manners Are Extra. My first listen through of all of them, which occurred a few months ago, actually maybe last summer, I increasingly liked their albums more as I went along. So I'm hoping that's the same case now that I'm giving them a longer run on my playlist. The number 2 album, or the number 4 album on my playlist right now, after just a brief period on my playlist, Subterranean by IQ. I like this a lot. I think this is going to be a powerful album on this playlist for me. I do have quite a few new IQs waiting to go. Wake, Lush Attic, the Road of Bones album. All 3 of these are waiting their turn as well. It might be a while, but I think they're going to have a great year, IQ, for me. Next up, still doing very well on the playlist now for a fairly lengthy time, more than 5 months, is Entranced by the Scorpions. Doing particularly well, but it's probably getting to the burnout stage, so it might be coming out by next playlist. Number 2, Gentle Giants, Octopus. Love this album. It's getting stronger every day. It probably will end up as number 1 at some point, but it's going to have to beat this one out. Spectres from Blue Oyster Cult is a great album. I think both of these 2 albums are exceptional, so it's going to be interesting to see which one holds the high court for the longest. This one's been in the playlist longer, over 5 months, probably closer to 6 months now. The other one is coming up on 5, maybe almost 5 months, so not too far apart. So they're going to be dominating for a while yet, I think. So that's my top 5 for this playlist. Just reiterate them. Blue Oyster Cult, Spectres in the number 1 spot. Gentle Giants, Octopus in the number 2 spot. Entranced by the Scorpions in the number 3 spot. IQ's Subterranean, this is actually a double album, in the 4th spot. And then last but not least, Greenslade's debut album, that's the one on the top. One on the bottom will go in next. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Playlist. It's been fun putting together. I like doing this every month. And we will see you next month for another episode of Playlist. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about anything I say, put those in the comment section below. And we'll see you then. Take care and have yourself a good day and a good evening. Goodbye.